Hello. I'm existing. Yippee. Give me a moment. I'm trying to fix the layout here a little bit. Because I've got to fix a couple things up and shiz. Da, 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 da. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay, it should be good. But I will probably have to adjust my game capture, because that's how it goes. Why? Why are you scrolling there, game? I'm trying to freaking move you around. Okay, there we go. Good to go. Time to finish game 2 because Fuck Mac. Uh, Back here, as always. Just give me a moment here. Wait, hang on. Had to get that out. Okay. Court is now in session for a trial of Matt Ungard. Yeah. Prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Well, aren't you well prepared? No, not really. Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. Ungard, and then proceeded to escape this crime scene by wearing a Nico Samurai costume. Yeah, with that back. The guilt of these actions are not from which she cannot escape. Then you're saying that she is guilty after all. I'm not finished, Your Honor. Miss Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? It looks like a shell. This is the calling card of a certain assassin. Assassin, you say? Yes. Juan Kurata was killed by a professional assassin. And the person who hired the assassin, his client, so to speak, is Matt Ungard. What a surprising turn of events! I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on this time. So I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can. We need to play the lapdog. At least until Mai is safe and sound. How the trial will turn out today. The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please. Okay. I'm, Will Powers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star. Help him. And what is your relation to the defendant? Well, that's... I guess I'm a sort of lousy mentor to him in a way, yeah. Mr. Powers, please, you don't need to put yourself down so much. Oh, sorry. Well, I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yeah. I didn't know that. But, you know... I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went. All you need to do is answer what you're asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. Ungard's room. Okay, sure. After a award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his Neko Samurai costume. He was talking with someone. First I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, I couldn't make them wait for me. That would be us. Talking with a bellboy's no big deal. If one assumes that the person Mr. Ungard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy. What are you implying? Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we? Looks like we're in another sticky situation. Huh? A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're just gonna have to charge in head first, right? As usual. What did you see specifically? You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant together, correct? Yeah, the bellboys just wanted to say congrats. Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange? I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, he gave the bellboy a tip. Tip? That's a perfectly normal thing to do. So how long did you watch the two of them? Not more than a minute or two, I think. At first? What do you mean by that? I didn't think he was a normal bellboy. And why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Hey, wait a second. Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago you stated... I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, he gave the bellboy a tip. Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself? Ah, yeah, that's it. You really know your job. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he? Perhaps we should let the witness tell us. Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony. You mean about the bellboy, right? So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that? Oh, well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me. How much it was? That's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket. That's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked. I'm afraid I don't follow at all. It's like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. I wonder which of his shocking moments I should ask about. The tip. Defendant is a huge star. He can afford to give generous tips, would you agree? Sure. Well, giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think. A little too much? Would you please clarify for the court about how much you would say the defendant gave the bellboy? Honestly, I don't know. Can't even begin to guess. Why is that? Because he gave the bellboy a really, really fat roll of cash. A roll of cash? Oh, well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it? A very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor. She's beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. Bennett is a superstar. That kind of tip is typical fare for people like him. Are you saying that all superstars are super spenders? If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, Then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting? He's got a point. I don't even get paid, let alone rolls of cash for all my hard work. So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it? Payment, Your Honor. Payment? Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Juan Kurata. Then the bellboy the witness saw. Yes, he was the assassin. Hold your horses now, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't have any proof of this, do you? Have I ever been unprepared to sort my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelley the Killer left at the scene of the crime. Shelley the Killer? He is the person the police's special investigations team has been chasing for ages. I am certain that the person that witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley the Killer. Really? What's wrong, Mr. Powers? Nothing. Something just clicked in my head and I think I just figured something out. Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night. What? Yes, sir. Right away. Hey. This time I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. That's when the bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Kurata's room. And I think about it, that bellboy did seem kind of out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin, I'm sure of it. I mean... Not done, there's still more. Let us first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. the Killer. Then we shall see. So the bellboy came out of the victim's room, and that bellboy really was the assassin. But I think the answer is fairly obvious. That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh. It's no laughing matter. So what exactly was so out of place about him? Right. Why the insipid grin? Maybe because I have no idea what's damaging thing he's gonna say next. Oh, the bellboy was empty-handed. Empty-handed? That bellboy was one of those room service people, right? He wasn't pushing a cart and he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange too, wouldn't you? I agree. That is a bit strange, Mr. Powers. Is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide, or pull a fast one? There's nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy. But there really is. There really isn't.
Objection!
If you two are done being school children, bellboys are for room service. There's no reason for them to be empty-handed ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness's previous statement be supplemented with this new one. Edgeworth, are you going to do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious? I see. Very well. This court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. This one. Yeah? You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true. But isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and... So, a baseball has stitches. Are you saying all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? Well, there's also, what about him being empty-handed? I would like to ask the court to please take a look here. This is the crime scene. There's a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Kurata's body. The liquid inside the glass is tomato juice. And now if you would look at what is on top of the table in the lower right corner here. Anyone can clearly see that is a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Kurata's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left. That would mean that the bellboy had seen and left a dead body in the room. Ah, but can you prove that Mr. Kurata was already dead at that time? Mr. Edgeworth! Yes? I blame you for leading me down this route. I'm terribly sorry. What is with him? Why is he laughing? Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like us to share with us? Is there? Bellboy was empty-handed, or should I say, empty-handed. I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Huh? What? That bellboy, he was wearing gloves. Gloves. Yeah, pitch black, leather ones. All the other bellboys didn't wear gloves like that, right? Black leather gloves. Why didn't you mention them earlier? Sorry, it slipped my mind. Boy, does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus here. Can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves. Come on, Mr. Wright. That bellboy was wearing black leather ones. So, a football is made of leather. Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they're made of leather? That man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant. And he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe he was just another bellboy. It seems that we finally have come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony. The rest? Oh yes, please tell us more. Okay. God damn it. After leaving Juan's room, Bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left, without even going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat. So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room. Yeah, I kind of saw all that by accident. Some accident? I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven. I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yay. Yippee. And what would that be? Did you notice anything? I said hold it! Okay. That's better. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details. Okay. Should probably ask him only one question at a time. Person inside. So, who took this something the bellboy handed off? Actually, I don't know. What do you mean? I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Give me one moment here. Thank you for the moment. I was looking at your message. Sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm? And you're saying you didn't see the person's face? Yeah. Was Mr. Enguarde's room correct? So it could have only been Mr. Enguarde himself, I'd say. And then what did the bellboy do after that? Oh, so after he gave the person inside the room the thing... What about this something? He gave something to this person. Yeah. And what was this something? If I remember what it was, I wouldn't be calling it something, would I? This implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers? I think it was something kinda small. I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm. Yes, it's just like that. Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really that important? Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. If I saw it again, I could say for sure, but I think it was some sort of wooden statue. This. The wooden bear. What was the point of that pregnant pause? Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up. It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is gonna happen once I show this. Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw, was it this item? Oh, hey, that's it. That's a something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out. I recall we found this at Matt Ungod's mansion. At a defendant's house? What does this mean? It's simple, Your Honor. Shelley the killer assassinated Juan Carrata in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime. And the bear being found at Mr. Ungar's mansion would mean... It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Matt Ungard is the killer's client. Mr. Wright, this is the most unfortunate turn of events for you. Yeah. Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you had shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have. Almost forgot that he knew about it too. I think it is clear that there's no need for us to continue this trial. Can't let this happen. I have to do something. It has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please. Yes, Mr. Wright? There's still a few points left that we have not fully explored. What are you trying to pull? Well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? The person who received the bear. There is one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear. And that is the identity of the person who received the bear. He gave something to a person inside the room. Sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure. Ah! What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why. Oh yeah, sorry. Actually, so... I remembered. I remembered who took the bear. What? I mean, I only saw his arm, but the arm. It was the Neko Samurai's arm, I swear it. But we've established that Adrian Andrews was in a costume. So, you know, it could have been Adrian. You've got to be kidding! Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was a Nickel Samurai. Looks like you've done your own grave, yet again. How many times that today? I've lost count. So the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Matt Engarde is the Nickel Samurai. Thanks to the defense, we have made that all the clearer. What am I supposed to do now? Mia, help! You don't have time to act lost. You got to find another angle to attack this from. Hurry. Now I'll bring it... Your Honor? Again, Mr. Wright? You've already removed any and all questionable areas of this testimony. It's about time you were removed from this court, Mr. Wright. I have to find something. Even one more little point will do. There's still questions that left unanswered. What are you trying to pull? Well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable way would you like to explore further? The bear. I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable. The bear, Mr. Wright? This was found at Mr. Engarde's mansion. However, Mr. Engarde was arrested at the hotel that night. Which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home. Oh. I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It is not possible that it was Mr. Engarde who took this bear to the mansion. Well, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken this bear home. Ew, disaster averted looks... You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. Huh? I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Engarde's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There is no way for him to escape. Can't believe it. That butler, all this time he was the killer. The killer and Engarde were working together, so to speak. And the killer was hiding at Engarde Mansion as its butler. What a bold move! The bear figurine was brought back to Engarde Mansion by the killer himself. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, Engarde had him do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all? I think we've heard enough. We know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt Engarde. I see no reason for this trial to continue, therefore I will now hand down my verdict. Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all what Edgeworth has stated is the truth. Any last objection, Mr. Wright? Do I? What should I do? There! There's only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left in this one dirty trick. Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number one, he accepted a bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number two, that very same figurine was found at Ungard Mansion. However, it's possible this is all the work of a certain other person. What do you say? What I'm saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client. We're implicating Adrian again. Because we gotta drag it out. Yes. This is all you have. Now then, Mr. Red, let's see your theory. Who do you say is the killer's real client and therefore the real murderer? Drag it out. Drag it out. Yes, we already know that she tried to frame Matt Ungard for the crime. By wearing a spare nickel samurai costume. And nickel samurai's arm that I saw. That could have very well been Miss Andrews. The defendant was taking a nap during the break period. That's right. Then, finding this figure at Mr. Ungard's mansion, it was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews. Mr. Edward, what is your opinion on this? I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic. Besides which, there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount this possibility either. Save Maya. This is a Save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, it's one fight I can't give up on. All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom. Your Honor, for the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game. The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did especially bring the bear to Ungard right away. Because it has a certain secret on it, almost like the Thinker, perhaps. Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. The prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews. Who would that be? It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Andrews herself. I see. Well, then the court will take a short 10-minute recess. Prosecution will prepare its witness in that time. Yippee! Hello, you. Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt onto Adrian. I swear this demon will pay. Pearls, where's Mia? I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away. Really strong power? Mr. Nick, your phone is... It's from Gunshoe. How is it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal? Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Ew, that's good, pal. What about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time! We just had one. Even a single clue would be really helpful. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself how to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. We have. Have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent. Huh? A tent? I could see a circus tent. A circus tent. Mia! It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now. But I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe, is there a circus in town right now? Only one, pal. A very big circus. Maya is somewhere within a 300-foot radius of the main tent. What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal. You draw a circle on the map about 300-foot radius about the main tent. Hurry. And I could see a mailbox under the window just outside. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Okay, what else? What else, Mia? Sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. Felt like I was in an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so. I heard her. An old office building. Good stuff, pal. Okay, just hang in there. Just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Yeah. She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. Oh, I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer. Court will now reconvene. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real culprit. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Yippee! Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have. You have seen it before? That's right, it's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court as to the bear's secrets? Alright. What is she? Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity, which is just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You can't really tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it? Yes, looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree? Yes, it's superb craftsmanship. Oh yes, I nearly forgot. Let me begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Now, I'm going to assume we gotta press everything, 'cause, yeah. That's right. It looks like an ordinary figurine. True enough. People who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. What kind of puzzle is this exactly? So you can take it apart? How would one go about doing that? Well, you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in. Yes, I see. After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed. Oh, this is most interesting. Boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. Judge plays with bear. I think he's lost it. What did you find after you take the puzzle apart? How do you know about this? I know, because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from a friend, and I went to Switzerland. And this was a present from you? That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Juan. Present from Miss Andrews. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are that many people with this same bear in this country. Looks like it could be easily broken. Especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside. Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same again once it's been broken. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? I never told anyone. And as long as Swan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. Two of you, huh? Of course that means Mr. Ungar didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. Well, Mr. Wright, I think you have come to realize. And there is one very important fact that we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a Drooly box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there is only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside this box? That's right. That's what we are going to find out next, witness. Yes? You are the only one who can open this. Please. Now, as she solves the puzzle, takes the bear apart. I've opened it. Is this what you wanted? What is that? Looks like a note. I don't think we need to guess at what that is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note. The suicide note? The suicide note left by Juan Kurata's former manager, Celeste Inmax. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but that just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Kurata himself. It seems Celeste Impax had very beautiful handwriting, and she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Witness, do you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public. But I couldn't find it anywhere. So it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What is written on the note? That's right. At least that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it's only appropriate that the contents of this note be made known. Letting it go through. I can't stop you, can I? There's so much just to get my hands on it. I was going to burn it, for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud. His voice rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Impax left us to a record of all that happened to her. About being used and then thrown away by Enguarde. About being engaged to Kurata and Enguarde's role in destroying that. About how she decided in her despair to end it all. And that's all Miss Impax had to say. There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Enguarde. Then what? Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan Kurata was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word. Matt Enguarde values above all else his refreshing like a spring breeze image. Which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. Yeah, Enguarde's a piece of shit. There is no room for doubt here. Mr. the Killer's client goal was to obtain the suicide note. And the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house. It seems we have come to the truth at last. Defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know, I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay, there are two deadly pieces of evidence, the figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of this situation through one of these. The gavel is already in the judge's hand, Phoenix, hurry. Please wait, Your Honor. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it. It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook. Y'all don't get it. You don't get it. I think Your Honor believes that Matt Engard killed in order to obtain this note. Yes, that is correct. That seems a little strange. In fact, I think there is a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Kurata until the night of the murder. If that is the case, I say that Matt Engard could not have known what was written on this note. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Exactly. But I didn't think of it that way, and the thought of it was rather strange. No one in their right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said. You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edward, what is your opinion? It's just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one. Fortunately, I think he believes differently. I believe a show of appreciation is in order. Huh? The event seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is that? It is a very small video camera, Your Honor. This very type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. What the? I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Matt Engard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. Even went as far to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And the victim, Juan Kurata, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt Engard. Don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities. Well, sort of. Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. I see you're confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not that same one. Last night I searched the victim's house on a hunch. Using this Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. And Engard's fingerprints were on there? Well, Phoenix, looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What's supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. Engard learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. Got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that.
Ew, nasty, sweaty.
Phoenix. Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next yet? What am I gonna do next? Running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case. But, in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. What is it, Mia? There is a piece of evidence that he really should investigate. He should investigate? I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? This piece of evidence that Mia's talking about. Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright.
Objection!
Your Honor, defense has no intention of letting this go so easily. You're beginning to sound desperate. That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Isn't that what I just said? So you're telling me that I forgot something. You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. There's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence.
Take that!
That is Miss Enbach's suicide note, right? Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside the spare. Well, this spare was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on this suicide note has yet to be analyzed. So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Ampex or not, that has yet to be even remotely confirmed. Are you saying the suicide note is a fake? Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Ungard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into the spare? How dare you?
Objection!
Honor defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There is no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever.
Objection!
But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could have solved the puzzle is the witness herself. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Mr. Matt Ungard. I did no such thing.
Objection!
Right, if you're going to pronounce the suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory.
Objection!
Mr. Edgeworth, you are the one who presented the scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting in the suicide note? Defense has stated that handwriting has yet to be analyzed. If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible. That's impossible! This isn't good, Phoenix. You're just going to carry this trial over one more day. I think my office isn't be able to make it another day. I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate. Handwriting analysis might... I think we've reached the end of the line. Oh. Good job, Phoenix. Good job, Gumshoe. What does that sound? It's Gumshoe. Hello, Gumshoe? What's with him? What's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? Sorry, pal, I really am. I don't know what I have to say besides I'm sorry. Wish there was some way I could make it up to you, I really do. Anyway, what's going on? Found his hideout, pal. But the two of them are already gone. Terrible. I'm gonna keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time. What? Don't tell me we don't have any more. Hear that? They're calling for his head. Mr. Wright, I can't for us to come this far and... Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that. Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I am about to enter these proceedings. Please take your phone calls after. Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch!
Take that!
Oh my god. Take that. And then you just see the frickin' phone picture spin. Mr. Edgeworth? Please, you gotta buy us some more time. Court is in session. Whoops. I'm sorry, Your Honor, you were saying? Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. Sorry, Your Honor, but... I am reluctant to do this, however. It appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for the day.
Objection!
Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. What purpose? We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time. Can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. Wouldn't it be better if we just adjourn for the day and reconvene tomorrow? 30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. That's all I am asking for. Please, Your Honor. Very well. At the prosecution's request, the court will take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today. Right, well, what's going on with my situation? The killer looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time. Reports. Is that Mr. Edgeworth? You don't have time. Just spit it out. Right. Looks like we just missed him, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away. A few things? Can we use any of them as evidence? Ho ho ho! I thought you asked, pal. I've got the things he left with me right now and I'm on my way over. Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first. You don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. Those guys weren't looking. I swiped the stuff and ran. What? Oh, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. Really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law in the hole for now. Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this. My hunk of junk car, I'd say I'd be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me. Alright, just get here in one piece. I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir. No one. I'm putting on all the stops and running every red light. Unloved by the murder, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. What's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me! No one can stop me. What happened? It sounded like he had an accident. Guessing his cell phone broke as well. One moment here. Do. I heard dog. What was he thinking? Gotta hurry and call for help. We have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken. We wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. takes back my moment and eats it. Ah, yes. Taking the concept of the moment and just eating it, of course. Weh. Also, you don't get those items before they do. Please will take possession of them. No, we can't let that happen. Well, if there is a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Use the tracker. Use Von Karma's tracker. Why did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? That's right, there is a way. Freaking silly dog. What are you doing? What? What? Freaking silly dog comes in and just goes like, climb up leg. What? How? Sure, we can find out where Detective Gumshoe's through this.
Take that!
Oh, you bring up Franziska at a time like... Oh, I see. I'll try to get in contact with her. Chances are slim, but she's all we have. The one thing she's gonna be useful at. Still, will she even want to help us? Edgeworth? What is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone over again. I know my client is guilty. What I'm doing now, feeling guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say, Defense Attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right. It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, it can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. Verdict? Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here? Yes, bailiff? There's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent. Probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. Alright. The last trial bit. Where we get to have... frickin'... We get to have the killer as the frickin'... witness. 'Cause, yeah. I may as well do the bad ending. Since it's like, I'm gonna assume there's like an achievement for it or something. But like, I may as well do it just cause. Like, it's a fucked up ending, but like, I don't know, it's kind of interesting to like make Phoenix grapple with that a little bit. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? You wouldn't know. That is... It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? Looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Woof. Nasty nose. Blech. Blech. Yeah. You need to get that nasty shit out of my nose. Yes, Your Honor. Fortunately, we have discovered this suicide note is a forgery. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impax herself. It is a fake. Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what's going on? This is not written by Miss Impax, and who wrote it? We would need more time to do more detailed analysis. However, it appears that a handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Grata. Huh. Yeah. Who would have guessed? Mr. Grata. Well. Looks like Miss Impax never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about Ungard. However, Your Honor, even though this suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Ungard could not have known that, and so the facts remain unchanged. Acting on the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. Pence believes that the theory prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, it's impossible for Mr. Ungard to not have known it was a fake. What's this little item called again? A video camera, Your Honor. Well, very small one, but... Oh, that's right, it's Cameron. Oh, you kids are your fancy toys nowadays. Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. Ungard knew of the existence of this note, because he was spying on the victim, isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. Ungard would have known that the victim had forged the note. Whoopsies! So then the defendant knew this suicide note was a fake. If that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. Prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Ungard's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But Your Honor, it's not as Mr. Ungard monitored Mr. Grata 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Ungard didn't know of. Right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Frickin' bothersome hair. Looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. As I figured. As you figured? As I figured it came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you are not making any sense. Heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Unguard's motive through the evidence, they must prove it from another angle. Looky with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to stand at this time. Well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edward's stuttering? This is not like him at all. Usual? What sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelly the Killer to commit murder? It's impossible. Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. It's, Go on, who is it? The man himself, Mr. Shelly the Killer. Oh, Mr. the Killer. Wait! Shelly the Killer? You mean the killer? The assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here to the witness stand? Oh, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is this alright with you? Do I have a choice here? Can't really do much else to drag this trial out. Defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it really is alright to do this. Is there no other way of the left to us? Now then, witness. Your name and your, occupation, please. Very good, sir. My name is Shelly the Killer, and I am a professional assassin. I say, what is going on here? Your Honor, how can you remain so calm? What's the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court. Must be what that urgent phone call you got early was about. Oh no, this will not do. I can't allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. the Killer himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are in fact Shelly the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. I'm so hungry. Maya! Voice, Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? Vince has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelly the Killer. So we have run into yet another expected turn of events. It doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so... Now then, witness. There is no one other thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you kill Mr. Juan Karada, is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Karada. Now that we've answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. Whoa! I think one thing I like about this, like, this radio is that it's clearly designed in a way to look like Shelly. It's a cute little detail. Like, no other radio would look like this. There is something I must first state. Like, no other radio would look like that frickin' face. No one. No other radio. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept better before I give the name of my client. Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. It's almost... I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. Well, he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor. Mr. the Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. I mean, about this trust between his clients and himself thing. It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me could comprehend. Ugh. I had a loud sneeze. Ooh. Trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you're testifying in this manner? This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients can trust me. Couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It just never happened before, but it ever did. Yes? That person wouldn't be my client for very long. And a certain somebody has broken that trust. There would be, certainly. That's enough. Please, no more. Very well, it was only hypothetical anyway. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role. This person tried to inculcate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? No, I didn't say it. Casual threat. The judge had better watch himself.
Hold it!
I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. Person who frames another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person? I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck, an assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Now then, everyone, do you understand? Do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think. Really. In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent.
Hold it!
What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask him his right, then I will. Witness! What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corrada? That person's name is... Adrian Andrews. Yeah, no, he's just doing that so... so he's protecting Unguard.
Objection!
Witness. That's not who you told me it was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client. It is Adrian Andrews. This can't be on the phone earlier. What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. Dickler just stabbed Mr. Edwards in the back. I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. Dickler told him a different name. Matt Unguard, perhaps. I knew it.
Objection!
This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie. You're the one who saw this witness. Shelley the killer. My testimony is the truth. Defendant at the moment is Matt Unguard, am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal. Yeah. I seem to have caused you all a bit of a confusion. Please continue the discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. What now? With the way this is going, Ongar will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but... Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. And Unguard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? I mean, for one, Maya literally said, if you get him not guilty, she will never forgive you. So... Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. The killer is certainly lying under oath. Wasn't me! Listen, everyone, please! That testimony just now, it was all one big lie! Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. Juan's death was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. Testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was all horrible, horrible lie. Mr. DeKiller himself has testified. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and the button donning the Nickel Samurai's costume. That's... You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste's impact was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reason to want them both dead. No. Mr. Wright. You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story, who the real killer is. Tell them. Please, help me. Yes, I know the truth. I believe we've reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions. Continue. Phoenix? I can't do it, Maya. I can't accept I'm not guilty. Sudden. Very sudden. Oof. You are a lawyer. I know. But Matt Unguard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I am no better than Unguard. Even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact. And it is because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten Unguard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? Never thought about it until now. I trust him? Yes, you do. Yes, you do trust him. Defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. DeKiller. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But that witness is clearly your client through his testimony. Your job here is done. I'm not done yet. To see through witnesses' lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. Some more evidence to look at. I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur. Very well, the trial will continue. Mr. Arthur, please establish connection with Mr. DeKiller. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About? All you need from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done. What is he talking about? Usually done? Shall we have him testify about now? Mr. DeKiller, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedures, is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrado was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. It's most unexpected turn of events for the 5th time now? However, this time everything has finally been revealed.
Objection!
Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Edgewood? We still have the cross-examination to do. But you don't need to question a testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright? Why did I suddenly become Italian? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. As if I have a choice here. Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what's going on anymore. That makes 2 of us. As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply... Yeah. Right, I already read it. I already read everything. Thank you so much for taking this time to testify, Mr. DeKiller. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corrado had been murdered. From this wine glass, Your Honor. Mr. DeKiller's supposed client thought Mr. Corrado had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. Isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind. I see your point, Mr. Edgewood. What is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Is it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Kurata's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. How strange. Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know.
Objection!
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry. You know you can't say that without any evidence. Ah, sorry. Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I am positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. Prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. We wait for the items the killer left behind to get here. Just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize matters. This is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I've made no mistakes. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Tell me. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was that with that brief pause? Witness, I would like you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients at a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I've already told you, Mr. Rudd, I did. It's only through talking with him face-to-face that I began to trust him. Oh, boy. Right, yeah. Him, hey? You only assumed that Adrian was a man. And that's when I thought I could trust this person as a client. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was the utmost importance. Really? If that's the case, witness, please conclude the statement just now in your testimony. You fool!
Objection!
I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time. Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy. How many times was he spoke by itself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale. What? Shelly the Killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip-up. About her. So, what is the issue? What did you just say just now? About her? If you'd ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman. Ho 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 ho! This witness testified to the following: that he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their request. He never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. the Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. Ah, yes. The sweating. The oil. It's so brown. Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, how did the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very androgynous name. Unluckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. Gotta let the kitty out now. Go. Okay. I'm just gonna spit out more lies. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. You just said that you don't do that. There have been times when I took a job without having met my clients. The request was for the murder of Juan Corrada and 2 or 3 other small things. Saw the name at the end of the letter. I thought my client to be a man. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it.
Hold it!
2 or 3 other things. Yes. And what were these other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. Whether or not they're related to this case, it's for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Yes? Everything I've said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client. Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Would it be that you are planning to betray your own client? That's... I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one... Wait! Uh-oh, this is looking really bad. Press my luck. Witness is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. A bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Mr. Corrada's suitcase. And then what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client? Interesting.
Objection!
Shelly the Killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. This item? I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. I was going to burn it, for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Why the very fact that this suicide note is still inside the bear? It tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means... It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Anders to be the client. Ho ho ho! Mr. Phoenix Wright. I am sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must be wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's not. That's enough. That is your intention, then there is only one thing for me to do. Wait, please! Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to.
Hold it!
No, please, not that. Please wait. Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand. Otherwise... Ah! Prosecution, come over, everyone. Even you are. Prosecution rests. What is going on around here? Prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor. Uh... Yeah. Be charged with murder. Prosecution has no further questions, so we'll now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant Matt Ungar to the stand. Oh boy. Dude, did the old guy finally decide? Boy. Unless I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent. Ha! So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Mr. Ungard, what an atrocious lawyer I have giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap? It's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Man is really just... Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer? Should I side with justice? Or should I save Maya's life? You better get Ungard a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. What if I say he's innocent? Then Miss Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Your choice I make, someone's life is going to end. Hinges on what I choose. Person who hired the assassinator Andrews, and your client, Mr. Matt Ungard, is innocent. There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer's gonna say what I want, aren't you? I can't do this. I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Client Matt Ungard is... The choice is not gonna matter there. Because he freezes up. They're waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt Ungard, your client deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. An Ungard is...
Objection!
She... You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces, do you have them? You should know better than to ask that Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Avant Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy, he's fine, and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this. His coat. What a filthy old coat this is. That's Gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags everywhere, anywhere. I apologize for his ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence. Your final evidence? We're gonna get both endings, just because. Even if the bad ending's kind of shitty. What?
Objection!
Your Honor, it's our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karn be allowed to present this piece of evidence. I suppose you're right, Mr. Edward. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will be not accepted by this court. First item is a pistol. Does the killer have anything to do with this case? Does the pistol have any relation in this case? We have yet to perform a ballistics test, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe it has something to do with this case, at least with me. Because she was shot in the shoulder. That's the pistol he used to shoot you, isn't it? That's what I believe, yes. I kept the bullet they removed from my shoulder as a sort of memento. I'm sure it will be an excellent sample for the test. That's the pistol I was used to shoot Franziska. Probably not going to help us very much. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. That the killer took that from Unguard Mansion. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh yeah. I would speculate that this tape is very important. Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right, it looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But how it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Shelly the Killer is no ordinary man. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Is that a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? Was that used during the crime? I'm almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. No doubt about it, the killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There's one thing I found interesting about this. And what is that? There's a button missing on this uniform. A button. It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelly the Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, Our question is not who did the killing. It is, who is the client? You forget Franziska has a mole? You know what? Valid. Like, she's got the little, you know, by the eye mole. So, I think it would be a little bit hard to see on, like, the original sprites. But it's definitely there. It is who is the client? These items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may step down now.
Hold it!
Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. This court has already had the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful, absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? You know, there's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's... Try for my sake, just think about it for a second. There are two ways out of the situation for us. Two? The first. Make Enguarde wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Yeah. Make him want to not be killed. The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Enguarde himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way. Force the killer to end his contract with Enguarde. If the killer were to no longer think of Enguarde as his client, then he would let Maya go. Yeah, that's not even more impossible. He's a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first. If you could make either one happen, it could truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, Judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. Pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? The other side? Wait, does she mean? You mean to turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The killer. That truth. The truth that Ungard was gonna be a piece of shit freaking backstabber. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids?
Objection!
I have already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence. I am not saying it is that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then you want to shield the evidence to that person. Alright, first, the bad ending. It's impossible to turn this situation around in one try. One try, that is all I will permit. Try to remember. Everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking Enguarde down at the same time. Alright, here it is. This is where you get the bad or good ending. I see. And now... I'm pretty much just doing whatever. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't have anything to say to this. What about you? How about you, Miss Von Karma? Well, I was just shot, so... I'm afraid I cannot allow the defense continue. No one understands what you are talking about anymore. Wait, please, one more chance! That is enough, Mr. Wright. I will now state my verdict. If the court finds the defendant... This court finds the defendant, Matt Enguarde... Yay! Bad ending! Ugh. And just like that, the case came to an end. I ran away from the courtroom and wandered the streets alone. I never saw Maya again. The killer is a man of his word, so I'm sure he released her as promised. I heard the verdict of Miss Anders' trial a few days later. She was found guilty, of course. The miracle never happened. Maybe it was never meant to. Because a miracle is something that doesn't exist. You fucked up, Phoenix. Alright, now I have to do the real thing. Show it to Shelly, because who else?
Take that! Take that!
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier. Alright, looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence. Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client to not watch it. So I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you are on this tape. Me? There is a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. What? Who was it that planted a camera? Well, the only person who could have planted the camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right? Yes. So they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why didn't Matt Ungard film this crime scene? Because he wanted to blackmail. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelly the Killer? It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them. Protect themselves from any and all the dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes. You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. What if that traitor was your own client? What will you do then? That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of the killer name, even if it takes an eternity. I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. The traitor becomes the killer's next target. I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around. Mr. Wright. Yes? My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item. What the? I'm not an item? I thought I'd never see you again. Thank goodness. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I don't quite know what just happened there with the client and the witness and... Miss Von Karma, what is that? She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Mr. On Guard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You'll finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. Sniper whip. Yeah, basically. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. I think he'd still find a way to kill him in prison, but like, I want to make it a little easier for him, you know? Just a little bit. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me! Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please. It's all right with you, Mr. Wright. You finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there is no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whatever way your heart tells you. Have fun, Matt! Congratulations, Mr. Matt on guard. Please make sure to savor your every moment of what little time you have left. Your Honor, as always, the defense pleads not guilty. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Matt Ungard. Please, wait! What's the matter? If I get a not guilty, they'll be killed. I'm... There it is. There it is. As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth. I don't remember you helping out much in this. Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt on guard? I have left Miss Von Karma in charge of incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full course meal of whip leather right about now. Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has a illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, it's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, the two of you use your combined strength to convict Matt. I felt like I'd finally been saved. First I've ever seen her smile. That's a smile worth protecting. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. It looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about. But everyone seems to be in good spirits. And that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned. You were great out there, Phoenix. What you did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final piece of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice? should I say Maya's life. My client, Matt Ungard, is... Is he guilty, or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then. And your answer? Your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. It's about the truth! Right. Edgeworth. I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody. You're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, she is quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car. Oh, she punches deceptively hard for a kid. I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her. Thanks. Oh. What's wrong? It's from Karma. About earlier, thanks. Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost. Your perfect win record has now been crushed. Who cares about the perfect fucking win record? And yet you are still happy. I don't think you'll ever understand Miss Von Karma. Oh, she will. Eventually. You can kinda see that in the investigations games, since she appears there as well. How dare you? Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth? For my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remains spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him on my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. As well you should have. A prosecutor has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense! We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so,
Objection!
no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. Oh boy. I began to trust in that man as well. Oh, I wonder what that's about. Like, oh, the trust. What? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have, erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This I promise you. The truth? Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. To seek the truth. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you? Right. That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night. Is Mr. Ezra right, Mr. Nick? You really let me down. When he disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me all those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least that's what I told myself. You pathetic fool! I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over. Francisca threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return this precinct later. Something else. Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip? I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this right. Okay. Nick! Maya! Yeah. Yeah. Edgeworth, did you get a kink for getting whipped between games? Good. Oh, Nick, I knew it would come through. Got on guard convicted like I knew you would. On top of that, you even rescued me. Of course I did. You know I would never desert you. We pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here. Whatever. Looks like it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly. True. Is it really that easy to do something like that? Thanks a lot, Nick. Don't mention it. Maya. Mr. Edgeworth. I'm relieved you're all right. Hey, it looks like you made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah. Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago. He's trying to get over the unnecessary feelings bit. The brain dead take is that Edgeworth is a top, but please consider the following. He's a bratty bottom and Phoenix is a laid-back top. Yeah. Yeah. The thing is that Edgeworth is like in this moment, he's literally going back to his whole unnecessary feelings bit. But he's like trying to be a little bit more empathetic and like thankful that someone's alright. He's trying. Maya's hungry. Maya's the big hungry. To be fair, she didn't eat for like 2 days. Alright, I think it's time we get out of this depressing place. Huh? Where are we going? Food, Nick, food. Grub, chow, I'm starved. So hungry even if you look like a nice juicy burger on the bun to me, Nick. Big juicy burger, Nick. You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least. If you insist. Alright, so how about we head up our usual burger joint? Edgeworth coming with. Don't be silly, Nick. Huh? This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I decided we have to make it up by having another feast. Another feast? Come on, Nick, food! Hey, Val, sorry to keep you guys waiting. Gumshoe, are you alright? Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things. Telephone pole? And it wasn't a red light that got him? You know what, that's a very Gumshoe thing. He would so run into a telephone pole. You did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking. Yeah, it was more exciting than in the very last episode of Steel Samurai. Thanks. Now looky here, Mrs. Snooty Prosecutor, don't you reckon you bully Mr. Right too hard? If you stop being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight, even. I'll keep that in mind. Well, come on now, everyone gather round. Y'all are gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer. Looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about you, so let's go chow down, pal. Amen to that, pal. Amen. You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, detective. Oh, me? You really think so? He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending. Well, you know, it's... Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from To Killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. What? 4? Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket. There's a 4th item? Oh, come on, y'all. It's over. Oh boy, I tell ya, you really are something else. Queen getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped. Never a dull moment with you, huh? The amount of times Maya has been frickin' accused. Why does she look so happy about that? It's never a dull moment. But being shut away for 2 whole days. Were you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had it rough, gal. So where's this picture of yours? You know, I don't know where it went. Aw, that's too bad. Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway. It was nice to finally see them both smiling again. What is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up. Oh, that's Miss Von Karma's receiver. Oh, thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. Can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me. That's odd. Even though you're standing right here. The tracking device seems to be in a different location. Oh, it's probably Buster or something, sir. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do. You haven't even eaten anything yet. And you've eaten way too much, you glutton. I had fun tonight. Now if you excuse me. Wait. What? I just want to say thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel.
Take that!
What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job. Yes, Pearly? I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? Pearly, would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me. Anyway, so who's paying for this lovely dinner party? As if you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick. Maya, I don't get paid. Oh yeah, I'm kind of at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. I'm kind of already put your name on the bill. Huh? Huh?
Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. So there's this camera shop in this hotel, see? And I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It better be anyhow for $3,000.
Huh?
Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all.
Huh?
Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, Nick.
Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? Forced to pay for all this.
Aw, you don't need to hold back now, you hear?
Yeah, pal, time to let it all out.
This is gonna be the first time I hear the real you. Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all.
Alright then, if you say so.
Objection!
Objection, baby! Shu Takumi.
You really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death row 3 times. Pretty cool, huh? Feel like a pro. I'm so happy that you could save Missing Maya, Mr. Nick. I'm so happy for the two of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymooners. So I sort of made a reservation for the two of you just in case.
My pearls! Well, pal, looks like I'm back on the force again. Mr. Edward had a long talk with the chief, and he got me reinstated for my sake. Here he said things like, letting that one go is bad for all of society. I knew it. Crashing headlong into everything is the only way I'd live, pal. Hello, Maggie.
Hi, Maggie Verne. I'm retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm gonna be a waitress from now on. And bring smiles and joy to the people who come by the restaurant, sir. Hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, that's a foreshadowing for the third game. First case. Well, not actually.
Yes, are you here for a visit, patient? Director Howdy-Ho. Recently, yes, that girl, you know. I haven't seen her around, yes. But I remember if I seemed to go crack. Didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes.
Go away, Hottie, please. But yes, that's foreshadowing for the next game. Because she's going to be a waitress now. Hi, Max.
It's time to begin our quest of sweet circus domination, sweetie, and to let the world know we are serious. I plan to make a fabulous flight to Zimbabwe. Max, what do you think Zimbabwe is like? Do you think there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk?
I think there are many talking bunnies, even they won't laugh at most jokes.
I'm ready. There's no way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears. I'm gonna be more contemporary with my humor. Mo Curls represent. We got our new act all worked out. Prepare for the Hallelujah chorus. Say something, will you? You're supposed to start this off. Get on with it. What's this? Strad is just an ordinary electronic razor charging on the ground. Can't believe this, really. How long do they plan on making me do this? Oh, but it's Edgy Pooh's idea, so that means it must have a deep hidden meaning. Why do I get the feeling they wouldn't forget about me, would they?
Old bag doing old bag things. Yep. Probably.
Received a letter from Miss Von Karma. She said that after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. Really thankful to have met everyone.
I'm pretty sure she's the next actress, because, like, I think she's mentioned something to that before. That level before.
It has become difficult for me in this country as of late. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you'd like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. May we both be blessed with longevity.
He has a homepage. Of course. Shinji Mikami. Resi boy. Hang on. And she said that after I got out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. Yes. Gay.
Where are you going, Franziska? How did you know I was here?
With this.
That's...
I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example.
That's just like you. Only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. But it's going in the trash, I promise you that.
Give it back to him!
Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting.
When I ran off with the things from Dick Killer's hideout. I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir.
4 things? It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in here? It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over.
What are you going to do now?
That's none of your business.
Are you running away?
Shut up! You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter.
Franziska.
So many expectations from everyone around me, expectations I must fulfill. I expect to win no matter what, and failure, such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius, there's no doubt about that, but me, I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to.
You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor. You have been and always will be.
No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away. Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? Yes. I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think that deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth, I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today. I believe you can, just like how Adrian Andrews did. Adrian Andrews. You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics, isn't that right? Today you chased after me, after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why you were standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you are going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma. Here it is. Here's the crying Fran. I'm Franziska von Karma. I don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now. You better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. Phoenix Wright. One day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, I'll take good care of this fourth piece, so I can give it to you when at last we meet again. Don't know when that would ever be. There's the picture Maya was talking about. She made a Nick out of the shell. Well, justice for all is done. Like I said before, in regards to the first and second game, I kind of think ultimately the final cases of both
are their strongest. Like, obviously, you kind of need the build-up to make those final cases more powerful. That's kind of how it works. You build up to your finale. But I don't think that changes that. The cases in between can have issues, especially in like a pacing sort of format. Like Turnabout Big Top is a little too long. Especially since you kind of already know who it is from the beginning. Like, even with my own knowledge from memories, I don't think that matters too much. Because they give you so much from the beginning that you're kind of like, oh, I already know. Shit. So ultimately, I think it's a matter of like, these cases could have been way better paced, especially from the cases in between. I think that the third game is a little bit better about it. A little bit, anyway. A little bit. But I think that's mostly because, the third game is mostly plot. I think only the third, let me think here. I think only the third case in that game is what you could consider, like, an in-between moment. But other than that, every other case after that is kind of plot relevant. Because I remember that 4 and 5 are technically both the same case anyway, because they're both like covering the same issues. Granted, the third game is a lot about comparing the past and the present. It's bringing everything all together into a nice format, I guess. But yeah. I definitely don't, like, despise Justice for All. It's definitely just a bit weird pacing-wise to me. Like, I think Turnabout Big Top is kind of its biggest issue. The pacing in that case is just kind of abysmal. And I kind of want out as soon as I'm, like, able. I'll see how, like, the third game goes when we get to it. But I remember liking it a good chunk more than the first two games. Even if the first game is actually pretty consistent. But I don't think that matters too much right now. Because as of right now, I'm going to take a bit of a break from this. That way I can kind of get a couple of other games done. Because I want to shave down what I've been playing with, you know? Just get through that. But we will come back with the third game probably soon enough. Not right away, but definitely soon enough. Probably like, I don't know, halfway through March or something. I don't know. Who knows? Depends on how I'm feeling. Otherwise, I appreciate y'all coming here. Hope to see y'all later, and have a good rest of your day, a good weekend, and all that. And hope to see y'all again soon. Bye. Bye.